Ba 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 ba. Hello and welcome to Pass Fail. It's season 3 and we're still doing this. Uh, it's a Zoom class, but a game show in a format that I keep insisting is in no way, shape, or form dated. I am your host, Professor Jack, and we have 3 wonderful student contestants this week. We have Blake. How are you, Blake?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, all right. Thank you for asking. Now, no one else can ask me how I am, too.
Yes.
We have Cheyenne.
Hi.
This is Cheyenne's first time on Pass Fail, longtime fan of the show. We're glad to have you. Is there any parts of your knowledge you're hoping come up in Pass Fail today?
See, you use Disney Pixar as the example category, so all my hopes are shattered.
Yep, that's it. There's going to be no other questions related to things you know, except for that one in the pre-show. And we have returning student contestant, Sydney.
Hi, guys.
You've won a game of Pass Fail in the past. Would you have any tips or suggestions for our other competitors?
No, because I want to win again. So
You didn't tell us you're putting us against the champion here.
No.
I'm worried. I'm nervous.
Sid is not the champion.
If you watched, you would know.
Hey, let me have this.
Sid won one episode and then ghosted me on the Pass Fail tournament.
Listen, that's a champion in my book. I think I came in dead last in the last episode I was in. So.
Appreciate that, Blake. I need it. I need this.
Of course.
So, this isn't just a Zoom call where I remind you about previous Zoom calls that we've been on together. It's a game show with prizes, and due to a lack of budget on my part, there are no physical prizes. The prize that our contestants are going to be competing for is to change my profile picture on all forms of social media. That is Facebook, that is Instagram, that used to be Twitter, and I don't know how to get it out of the spiel. Places where my friends follow me, places where my family follows me. If Blake wins Pass Fail this week, my profile picture will be. Now help us out here. Who is this friend to all?
Well, this is a cause near and dear to my heart. This is Lanky Kong, and many people know him as a Kong with no style and no grace. And I'm trying to change that perception. I need to get his face out there, and everybody needs to know that this is an admirable person. This is a good man who's only done good things for his family, and we need to change our dialogue on how we talk about this Lanky Kong.
Well, as someone who is heavily associated with both style and grace, I think that I would be the right spokesperson to get this message out.
We're thinking
Lanky
the same
Kongs are Kongs too.
Yeah.
If Cheyenne wins Pass Fail this week, my profile picture is going to be. I hate to say it this up front, but some weeks there are a profile picture I hate so much that I conspire against, and this isn't one, but this is
so
the cute. Yeah, and it's my super real feelings on that. Good. It's probably not the most professionally damaging profile picture I'm gonna have this year, but it's up there. And if Sydney wins Pass Fail this week, my profile picture is going to be. Now help us out. What are we looking at here?
Well, everybody, you are looking at a Hillary Clinton nutcracker. I actually saw her today, and I was walking, and I stopped in my tracks because I saw it at the side of my eye, and I said, that is something.
I don't think I expected this to be a thing you actually saw. I really just thought this was some picture you got off the internet.
Nope, this is a real thing on my own camera roll.
Would you pay $38 for it?
There was actually another one. There was another one where she was in her suit. But I thought this one was the more appropriate one for you specifically.
Thank you.
I think it's so tragic. 2016 or bust is now just a completely tragic slogan for a nutcracker too.
Oh, and I also just have to point out the phrase stainless steel thighs.
Nice. Thank you.
Which might be the last 3 words that run through my brain before I die.
You know what? I do hope that for you and for all.
We should all be so lucky.
Any real pass failer will think about the phrase stainless steel thighs right before they die. And if you don't, you're not a real fan of the show. So this isn't just me making bold claims about the nice people that watch our show. It's a game show with questions. Those questions are in categories, and this week those categories are answers that rhyme, where I'm going to ask you 2 questions and the answers rhyme with each other. The first question is going to be about types of martial arts. There is breakfast foods, but not really, where every answer is going to be a breakfast food, but none of those questions will be about the breakfast food. There is Call My Bluff, 2020 headlines. Here are some news stories. Some of them I've made up. Can you tell them apart? We'll find out together. There is Name That Black Eyed Pea. I'm going to show you the members of the Black Eyed Peas, and you got to tell me all of their names. All of them. Within 10, which is a numbers guessing round that's going to be themed around reptiles. And finally, after my years and years of feuding, you win, Percy Jackson kids. Here are some questions about Greek gods, which are just some trivia questions about Greek gods. They've been emailing me. They found my home address. They've been begging me to do a category about this. And for years, I've refused, but we finally have. Blake, your name comes first in the alphabet. Where do you want to take us first?
Let's go to breakfast foods, but not really.
Great. So in this category, I'm going to ask you questions where all of the answers are going to be breakfast foods, but none of the questions will be about those foods. For example, which English philosopher is said to have coined the phrase, knowledge is power?
I'm going good already. It's going great.
I picked this one first because I thought it was the easy one. Cheyenne.
Play-Doh is not a food, right?
No, it is fun to play with, but not to eat. Sid.
Got it.
Yeah.
The Hamburger Helper.
It is not famed breakfast icon, the Hamburger Helper.
Hey, he's all American.
I haven't argued with his patriotism. I am, of course, looking for the English philosopher Bacon, Sir Francis Bacon, who said the phrase, knowledge is power. Hopefully this one will be easier. Which was the first available brand of foundation?
Ding.
Sydney.
Syrup.
Syrup is not the answer, but it is closer than you think it is.
Okay.
Yes, Blake.
Pancake.
Yes, pancake. Like the phrase pancake makeup, coming from the earliest brand of foundation.
I was just giving you guys a chance to weigh in. I knew that one from the start for sure.
Cheers and bottoms up are both examples of what?
Whoop.
Cheyenne.
A toast.
Yes, toast is the answer I'm looking for.
I was going to guess songs Nicki Minaj is featured on, but that's
also... To me, that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Exactly. In the United Kingdom, what kind of dog do they call the dachshund?
Dang!
Sydney.
Wiener.
No, that is what they call him stateside. Ooh. Blake.
Sausage.
Yes, sausage dog is what I was looking for. Sausage. And final question in this round, which podcast spun off from NPR's This American Life?
Help me.
I saw Blake first.
Omelet.
It is not the podcast Omelet. Cheyenne?
Cereal.
Yes, cereal is the answer I am looking for. The podcast is cereal. At the end of that, Cheyenne and Blake are both tied with 2 points. Cheyenne, where do you want to take us next?
Call My Bluff 2020 headlines.
Great. So I'm gonna ask you about some 2020 headlines. You tell me if they're true, or if I made them up. If someone answers the question, no one else can answer the question here because they're just true or false questions.
Okay.
So, did any of these things happen in 2020? For example, the cake boss says he won't bake again after gruesome
Ding!
bowling injury.
Ding!
Saw Sydney first.
Ding! This is
Yes.
100% true. He has a
Yes.
bowling alley in his house, and it crushed his hand.
The ball,
Right.
like what crushed his hand?
Can you say that again, but smiling a little bit less?
You're from New Jersey. Where's your patriotism? He's your founding father.
Speaking of patriotism, did this happen? Libertarian presidential candidate skips campaign rally after saying she was bitten by bat. Blake,
Yes. Yeah, I believe
Yes.
that.
you're right too. It did happen.
Bat bites are serious. Have you ever been bitten by a bat?
No.
It's
Have
not
you?
fun. Yeah, I've got a bat bite in my life. I was trying to save a bat's life for my family and wanted to kill it, and then it bit me.
Man.
That bat died that day.
Some people just don't know how to appreciate help, you know? Next question. The Times Square Elmo sued by the Sesame Workshop for promoting anti-vaccine rhetoric.
Ding!
Sydney.
I wish I could say true, because if you really look at that man is not vaccinated. The Times Square Elmo,
Yeah.
certainly not.
You,
But
as someone
I'm
who
gonna-
knows him personally.
Yes. But I am gonna go with false, because I do think that Times Square Cookie Monster has got his back. And he's gonna get him vaccinated at the end of the day.
For slightly different reasons, I'll tell you you're correct. That is false. Times Square Elmo was never sued by Sesame Workshop for promoting anti-vaccine rhetoric, but did parents call for Among Us to be banned from the App Store after drug trade in chat? Cheyenne,
Yeah.
no, of course not. Why would you think that? Chomp?
Why would they not? What drug dealer is not looking at Among Us as an opportunity?
That's because
Right.
all the kids were doing it on Club Penguin.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Final question in this round. Was a woman rescued from a New Jersey clothing donation bin for the third time in 2 years, Blake?
Yes, she absolutely
Yes.
was.
She absolutely was. Correct. So at the end of that round, Cheyenne and Sydney are tied with 2 points each. Blake in the lead with 4. Sydney, where do you want to take us next?
You do know I love the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, jeez.
Great.
I think it's time.
So, name that black-eyed pea. You're not going to believe this, but this is a round we had left over from last time that no one wanted us to use. But too bad.
Really?
That is tragic.
For example, which black-eyed pea is this?
Ding!
Blake.
Frank Welker, the voice of Scooby-Doo.
It's not Frank Welker, the voice of
Dang.
Scooby-Doo. Cheyenne?
Fergie, also known as the Duchess.
I'm just taking Fergie, but you can have some personal points for knowing that she is the Duchess.
Thank you.
Who is this?
Ding.
Sydney.
Will I am.
Yes. The answer I was looking for eventually was Will I Am. Who is this?
Fair enough.
Blake?
Prince Herbert of the Duchy of Brendanshire.
You're not going to believe it, but that's 100% correct.
I know. I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't
No,
real.
it's not actually. This guy. Do you remember this guy? He's one of the other guys in the Black Eyed Peas.
There
that
were
was
more
really
than
the point
just
of
two
this
members of the Black Eyed Peas.
No, there's 4 of them.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there's more questions in this round.
You're straight up lying, dude.
Cheyenne.
Judging by his jacket, I'm going to say his name is Violence.
That is a good guess. I did, when I picked this picture, I wondered if his name was on the jacket. I don't think it is. That is not his name. I'll put us out of our misery. This is everyone's favorite Black Eyed Pea, Taboo.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Now, who's this?
That's
Ding.
Blake.
That's a black-eyed pea.
Yes, but I'm looking for the kind of black-eyed pea. Here, the round is named this black-eyed pea. Sydney.
Kidney.
No, not kidney. Good guess, though. Cheyenne.
Like a winter bean?
Another good guess, but not correct. Blake.
They look like Quincy's to me.
You are correct, morally. The answer I am looking for here is these are the California black-eye. California black-eyed pea. And finally in this round, who is this guy? He, and I'll tell you, has the funniest name out of everybody in the black-eyed peas. Blake.
He's the regional champion for best hairstyle 2020.
Which region?
Whichever region you're from. You viewer, whichever region you're from.
Looks like a count. You know what I mean?
He does have a little bit of vampire to his dress.
The gold.
That's a count if I've ever seen one.
Cheyenne.
Herbert.
Good guess. I couldn't tell you any of their actual names. I'll just say his name, as we all know, is Apple D App.
I have heard of him.
Apple D App, yeah, from the Black-Eyed Peas.
I didn't realize that was the connection.
Of course.
That check. I feel like all of the songs are actually called Apple D App.
He does yell his name halfway through pretty much every Black-Eyed Peas song. Where would we be without the classic Apple D App's Got a Feeling? So, at the end of that incredibly important round, Sydney and Cheyenne are tied with 3. Blake's still in an insurmountable lead with 4 points. Sydney, where do you want to take us next?
Well, Jack, I would love to go to the reptiles category.
Great. So I'm going to ask you some questions about reptiles, some numbers related to those reptiles. For this round, everybody is going to get to guess, and as long as you get within 10, you get a point. For example, in feet, how long was the longest captured reticulated python?
Ding.
Sydney.
5 yards.
5 yards.
I know you know.
It was worth it just so I could struggle on camera of doing 3 times 5 in my head. Blake.
12 feet long.
12 feet. Cheyenne?
46.
46. I will tell you, Cheyenne is the closest. The answer is, in fact, 33. 33 feet. The longest captured reticulated python. No one gets a point there.
That's too much snake.
In one egg-laying session, how many eggs does the average leatherback sea turtle lay? I'll tell you, it's more than 1.
Yeah. I have known this in my life. But I don't know that I know it now.
Sydney.
I'm going 27.
Blake.
56.
35.
35. I will tell you, Blake is the closest. The answer is, in fact, 110.
I knew it was up there.
110 eggs. In centimeters, how big is the Jaragua lizard? The smallest lizard in the world. Blake.
4.
Ding.
Sydney.
4.2.
That is really annoying of you, Sid. Cheyenne?
12.
I will tell you that Blake is the closest. The answer is, in fact, 1.6. 1.6 centimeters. You just missed out on a point, Cheyenne, I'm sorry to say. How old is Muha, the oldest known alligator in captivity? In years.
Thank you.
Ding. 121.
121. I'll tell you, Cheyenne is the closest to guess so far.
I'm gonna guess now. My little guess is gonna be you know what? I think this alligator has outlived the Queen of England. So what is that? 94?
94.6.
4.6. I will tell you that Sydney is the closest. The answer is, in fact, 85.
Oh.
85 years. So both Blake and Sydney are going to get a point there.
Still alive?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So
Currently
it
living.
technically
Done out.
has outlived the Queen of England. God
This
rest.
is true.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, but that is not a number. I think we can all agree that outlived the Queen of England is not any known integer. Final question in this round. Within one, when a skink loses its tail, how many months is the fastest this tail will grow back?
Whoop, whoop.
Cheyenne.
3.
Ding. 5.
Sydney. Blake.
I think it's 1 month.
I will tell you Sydney is the closest. The answer I'm looking for is in fact 6 months. 6 months. So at the end of that round, Blake and Sydney are tied with 6. Cheyenne, still happy to be here with 3. Where do you want to take us next, Cheyenne?
Answers that rhyme martial arts.
Great.
I'm going to put off the inevitable for a little while longer.
I am going to ask you 2 questions. The answers of these questions are going to rhyme with each other. The first question in each of these 2 questions will be about a type of martial art. For example, which martial art became an Olympic sport in 1964, and who is the Prime Minister of Canada? Blake.
Taekwondo, Justin Trudeau.
Close. One of those answers is correct.
Whoop.
Yes, Cheyenne.
Judo and Justin Trudeau.
Yes, Judo Trudeau is what I am looking for. Judo Trudeau. Which martial art form originated in Japan and was later popularized in Brazil? And which kind of dog name is Mandarin for little lion?
Whoop.
Cheyenne.
Jiu-jitsu Shih Tzu.
Yes, Jiu-Jitsu Shih Tzu is the exact answer I am looking for.
I want to meet one of those. A jiu-jitsu Shih Tzu.
They train
It's-
very hard.
It's, hey, this is my Kung Fu Panda knockoff, and none of you are allowed to steal it. Next question. Which martial art was designed for the Israeli Defense Force, and what was the first official single released by Taylor Swift?
Ding.
Sydney.
That is Boxer. That's all I got.
The answer I'm looking for is not, in fact, Boxer. That's all I got.
Martial arts.
Can you tell I did theater as a kid instead of like martial arts? Is that clear in this round?
What? Are you telling me that I didn't pick my 3 most knowledgeable martial arts friends to do this episode of Pass Fail? How dare I?
You really fumbled the bag there.
I do have to avoid doing theater rounds because I worry that people are going to know those too much.
Well, the funny part is I also don't know anything about theater, so like, invite me to that one and I'll give the same result.
Good.
Incredible.
I'm going to put us out of our misery. The answer I'm looking for is Krav Maga Tim McGraw. Krav Maga Tim McGraw.
Rats.
Next quote. We're almost done. I promise. Which kind of panda did Jack Black play? And Jesus Christ Superstar and Les Miserables are examples of which kind of musical? You wanted theater questions, Blake. Cheyenne.
No, I didn't.
Kung Fu Sung Through.
Yes, Kung Fu Sung Through is the exact answer I am looking for. I will let you know everyone is now tied going into this last question of the round.
Oh,
Which
geez.
Japanese martial arts name means empty hand? And which famous catchphrase was never actually said on the original Star Trek?
But got it.
Blake.
Karate, beam me up, Scotty.
Yes, karate, beam me up, Scotty, is the exact answer I am looking for.
That was the most impressive answer of the round.
Didn't
That's
even
why I
Stars
saved
aligned
it
there for
last.
me.
You've waited your whole life.
I was born for that moment.
So at the end of that, Cheyenne and Sydney have 6. Blake in an insurmountable lead with 7. Where do you want to take us next, Blake?
What's left? Is it just the Greek one?
Yeah, but I like to let you feel like you have a say in the matter.
The Greek one, please.
All right. I'm going to ask you some trivia questions about the Greek gods. They're probably going to be of varying levels of hard because I knew very little about them going into this. So I'm going to assume some of these are known. Which major Greek god is not considered an Olympian because he does not live on Mount Olympus? Blake.
Ding.
Hades.
Hades is the answer I was looking for.
He lives in the basement.
He does live in the basement. Which sneaker brand takes its name from the Greek goddess of victory? Cheyenne.
Nike.
Yes, Nike is in fact the answer I am looking for.
Sneaker trivia.
According to the mythology, who is the youngest of the 12 Olympian gods? This one I didn't know, but just found interesting. Blake.
Dionysus.
It is not Dionysus.
Ding.
Sydney.
The answer is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not, in fact, the answer I'm looking for. Cheyenne?
Aphrodite?
It is not Aphrodite. Blake?
Yeah, Hermes. Let's just do them all.
Hermes is, in fact, the answer I am looking for.
What a little
Hermes.
fucking baby that man is.
Can we say bad words on Twitch? YouTube?
Yeah.
Streaming platform of your choice?
It's demonetized, dude. Oh,
What happened?
there goes all those royalties for this episode.
Oh no, my hundreds of thousands of dollars in pass-fail money all out the window because Sydney said the F word.
Sorry, guys. I just can't stand that baby.
Which Greek goddess do we get olive branches as a symbol of peace and owls as a symbol of wisdom? Blake.
Athena.
Yes, Athena is the answer I was looking for. And final question in this round: of the 12 Olympians, 11 remain consistent in the mythology, but which Greek god is only sometimes considered an Olympian, swapping places with Hestia? Blake.
Persephone.
Persephone is not the answer I am looking for. Cheyenne.
Dionysus?
Yes, Dionysus is the answer I am looking for. I know, I didn't want to say it's been said already. Oh, that's...
that doesn't say Dionysus.
That's the answer right there, baby. That is exactly what I said out loud.
That doesn't quite say that.
You know what? I won't edit this out. I was
That's
gonna
how you
just fix
pronounce
it.
Come on.
It's pronounced Dionysus in the original Greek.
Can I ask what that was originally meant to say?
It was some within 10, if
All
I
right.
had to guess off the top of my head. So, at the end of that round, Sydney has 6 points, Cheyenne has 8 points, and Blake has 10 points as we find ourselves in the final round. Pass fail. Everyone take out your pieces of paper and your things to write on those pieces of paper. For this final round, our contestants are going to have 1 minute to answer as many right questions to the following prompt as they can. They're going to get 1 actual point for every correct answer and lose 1 point for every incorrect answer.
This is where I
But
blow it.
This week, our final question for Pass Fail is name as many musical acts that played at Woodstock. Your time starts now.
Oh my
Just
god.
name bands your parents like. Just name bands your parents know.
This is a Jack question if I've ever heard one.
These are the 2 songs I remember from Woodstock that I'll play for you now. Like how Jimi Hendrix did it, get it?
Did you just give us a hint?
Time is up, hands up, eyes up, pencils down. So, do we know bands from Woodstock? We'll all find out together. Sydney, what do you have?
Okay, Jack, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers for you.
Great. What are those answers?
The Beatles.
Okay.
Number 2, Les Miserables.
Okay.
Next I have The Who.
Okay.
The Police.
Okay.
One Direction.
Okay.
Queen.
Okay. I will tell you.
And last
Oh,
but not
sorry.
least, I guess I miscounted. BTS.
Okay. I will tell you one of those answers is correct. I will not tell you which, but I will tell you one of those is the right answer. I'll tell you it's not BTS. Cheyenne, what are your answers?
I have the Grateful Dead,
Okay.
Fish,
Okay.
Corn.
Okay.
Are we? So here's the question: are we talking like the original? Or
I'm talking Woodstock 69.
Oh, wow. Boo.
Sorry.
Led Zeppelin,
Okay.
the Beatles,
Okay.
Bob Dylan,
Okay.
Janis Joplin.
All right. I will tell you 2 of those answers are correct.
Ooh.
Blake, what do you have?
So I have a picture of Lanky Kong saying, I only listen to K-pop. So I have 0 bands to guess, Jack.
I'm gonna count that as one wrong answer just for fun. Why not?
All right, fair enough.
So, at the end of this incredibly high octane and exciting episode of Pass Fail, in last place with 1 point is your friend and mine, Sydney. In second place with a very notable 5 points is Cheyenne. And winning this episode of Pass Fail with 9 whole points is our friend Blake.
Opla! Opla!
Congratulations to Blake and to Lanky Kong, I suppose. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Pass Fail. We will be back next week with 3 different student contestants and a whole lot of more people being annoyed at me for various reasons. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Cheyenne and to Sydney for participating. Congrats again to Blake for winning. I will see you next week, and make sure to learn a lot in the next week. Bye.
Bye.
That's my cool new catchphrase. No one likes it.
I thought it was fun.